find out where he is.
Yeah.
So I think you guys were just discussing before I joined in here what puCK would do or what he may or may not do. And Silky is down to 1 life now. So what happens? Do we take him out? Do we just eliminate Silky straight from the tournament? And
that's it. You kind of get your choice now, Silky or Future. puCK, of course, also coming off the loss to Future at Cheesadelphia. So he may want to shy away from that. But he may want the exact opposite. He may want to reprove himself that he can take out Future.
And you know, at the end of the day, if he picks Silky, officially 1 person will be removed from the tournament.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter
either
what.
way, right? Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah. So we're down to like.
Yeah, we're down to the last bits.
Everybody, so everyone, puCK, Silky, and Future all have 1 life. Masa with 2 lives and a reflect.
Now, what he could
and
do.
Reflect, yeah.
Now this would be bold. He could pick Masa.
Use the reflect.
Yeah, he could pick Masa just to see that Masa uses the reflect, just to get rid of it. But
I don't know. Do you think Masa? Do you think Masa might just play him?
Masa will just play him. Yeah, exactly.
Like he might bait him into it and just like, gotcha, trapped.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I kind of said on the first day of this, it's quite possible we go through the whole thing and Masa never uses his.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to.
No, he wants to play as many people as possible.
Because every game you win in this series, so again, to do you get $25 for everything that you win.
Yeah.
So if you think you're going to win, you're going to win.
Yeah, it's not conducive to turtling actually. So like the tournament format doesn't benefit you to turtle to the finals. So it is actually better for you to be as aggressive as possible, but strategically pick where you want to play and who you don't want to play. Right. The idea is you want to stay in as long as possible. So
the thing will be too, a game advantage is a thing in the best of 5 at the end too.
Yes, absolutely.
So if he's at 2 lives and the other is at 1, then he gets a hand up.
Yeah.
If he ends up at 1-1, then there's no advantage in the
finals. Right now Masa is actually in the best. He's the only person that can have a 1 game advantage in the finals.
Exactly.
So and if both players come in with 1-1, it's gonna be even thing. So Masa is in his best interest to actually kind of keep that extra, because if he believes strongly he can win that finals without losing a game leading up to it, he can just get in there and win quickly and get the extra $100.
Yeah.
So he may actually want to reflect because
he doesn't be like the 25 is not worth locking in.
Yes, exactly. It's not worth losing a life, right?
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that part of that meta. I didn't even think about it, but all right, puCK's here.
All right.
Okay. We were just doing some theory crafting. So
I'm gonna
now
pick Silky.
He did it. He did it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
He
so this is basically before this
scenario 1.
This is what we were thinking.
Yeah, this
was
is
the
scenario
overall
1.
scenario. So let's get Silky in here and see what he's up to. Obviously, he cannot deflect. So
nope. He has to do
what's he gonna do?
And at the end of this match, someone is getting eliminated. Yep. So
can I get extra money for eliminating someone?
Maybe next season.
We should do that next time, like a bounty tournament.
Yeah,
like poker or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So next one, I will work that into the rules that you get extra if you're the person that eliminates somebody's life, you get extra money.
Yeah. No, his one's gonna be that Silky racked up during the tournament. You get his.
Yeah.
And he leaves with
that would be that.
You take all his money.
Well, that is. Well, you get there are poker tournaments with this format of when half the money is the total prize pool, but half the money is bounty.
Oh.
So if I knock someone out, I get half their bounty, and then when you knock me out, you get half my bounty. Oh. So if I earned $100 and you knock me out, you get 50 of my 100. So you actually get more money for knocking out someone that has knocked out a lot of people.
Oh.
So it goes crazy.
Look at it. We're improving Kings and Suupa right here online, live on stream. That sounds like an amazing, wicked idea.
Yeah.
All right. It's not happening obviously right now because that would be like surprise.
By the way.
But all right, Silky, you got picked. You can't really reflect or anything. So
nope.
So
this is it. How you feeling?
Oh boy.
I don't know, man. After that BC trash, I don't know.
Oh God.
They're so annoying.
60 hertz monitors too. Everything.
Yeah, man. BCs. I don't know. So and 3 racks. Like, I don't even know what that means, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Protoss is always Protoss, so I don't know what can happen.
All right, this is it. So I guess let's do vetoes. Puck,
Yeah, all right, cool.
You started us off.
First ban.
That's so meta. I'm myself.
I will veto blue shift.
All right, blue shift.
All right. I'll veto stasis.
And then you get another one.
Second one.
I pick again.
Yep.
Yeah.
ABBA.
Oh, okay. Automaton.
Okay, Cerulean Fall.
All right.
All right.
So we got
Yes, we got Port Alexander, Parasite, and that other one, the Kairos.
Kairos.
Yeah. So I pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do Port Alexander first.
Okay, Parasite second.
All right.
Alrighty. So
All right.
Kairos third
Perfect.
if we need it,
Let's do it.
and we are good. Any last smack talk to each other to intimidate?
Nah. Just don't put on.
We had a good alliance going. So.
Yeah. I think the one hatchery really gave me a lot of support through that entire game.
Yeah.
It was a good buffer.
I think so. The moral support.
So, yeah. Moral support
right.
hatchery. Yep.
Moral support hatchery. All right, good.
All right.
Awesome, guys. We'll see you guys in game. That
Get
was
into
hilarious.
this.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. 2 men enter. 1 man will leave.
Yeah, well, it's
And,
funny that scenario 1 played out as you
Yeah.
guys predicted.
Exactly.
That Brendan picked Silky and
Makes sense.
yeah.
Makes
So this is going to be fascinating. What do we think in terms of the map picks? In terms of like, and we said obviously the maps doesn't make so much because the meta is still fresh, but
Yeah.
what do we feel in terms of Puck's play style and maybe in past tournaments coming up to now? Him going against Silky, what is his chances? Actually, we have stats. Production, can we throw for stats?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Parasite is one that often gets
But not in
vetoed,
that-
but
don't
they're
drop
not
stats in
going to veto it this time.
Oh, thanks.
And
Silky
Puck's
clearly
first
doesn't wanna
pick
deal
of
with-
blue shift being taken out was something. So both racially
They're relatively
decent,
even.
Relatively even.
Yeah, they're relatively even.
In their past, Puck does have a winning record over Silky in head-to-head matchups, but those are over a long time as well.
Oh,
So,
get in here.
and like,
Port Alexander is a good map to begin with. It's got some options for like third, fourth,
okay,
which one you take, whatever.
I like Port
It's pretty
Alexander.
good.
It's like
It looks nice.
but Pork Alexander.
Yeah.
No, it's Port Alexander in general. I feel like it's a solid map. Aesthetically pleasing, and then for me as a lower level player, that's an important thing for me. Is how aesthetically pleasing the map is. And,
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the key.
absolutely. But
Have you ever seen it in a 120 hertz monitor though? It's even that's
It loses all its charm. at
all its
16.
charm, especially when it's brought down to 60 hertz. Untenable,
the
literally unplayable.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get into like? Oh, there
There we are now.
Absolutely. All
Yeah,
right, so
I don't know. It'll be a good one.
except Puck is random. That
They're
is
all still sucked up.
new
from
meta.
before.
That
yeah.
We'll
Defaulting
get
them
them
to.
to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Tempo. Who do you think's gonna
Cool.
take this one?
Yes. See, I am not sure. I think it could go to either one of them. Both of them are players that actually play quite a bit of ladder, probably run into each other a lot too.
Yeah.
And I think Silky has been showing himself to be a bit stronger, even though a lot of people always assumed him to be like this ladder hero. When he went to Hack, he was able to kind of show like, yeah, man, I'm the real deal. Even at live events, it can happen too. So they're both like 6K plus MMR, I believe. So
yeah, they're right around that number. I haven't checked this season, but yeah, they're right in that ballpark.
I think it should be a relatively even match. It's all about how Silky's mindset is after that last game against Masa, and if Puck is going to continue it. Because if you're playing a regular Protoss, it's whatever. But you're playing Puck, and he's the type of player that will do these kind of things to mess with your mind again too. So
yeah, for sure. We've seen him with Puck lately doing really, really good Warp Prism Micro.
Yes,
that's a big part
absolutely.
of the PvZ matchup at the moment. We've seen him do it a lot in PvT, dropping Colossus.
I liked it. It was really
it was
fun.
really good, but
I felt very old school-esque.
Yeah.
Like,
well, his composition, when you looked at it, was very Wings of Liberty.
It was.
But the way he was using it was nothing like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. Well,
it's perfect. So I'm going to actually take this opportunity to remind our audience about how Kings of North Suupa and all Kings of the North are supported by viewers like you. You can use that Matcherino code !Matcherino in the chat, or go to ESChamp.com/support and put that code Suupa. That's 2 U's. 2 U's. Suupa in the coupon code position to get yourself a free $1. We can't make these events happen without your kind and generous support. Starting up in the new year. Our ESChamp, so Patreon in the chat, or go to ESChamp.com/join. And you can join our Patreon, our Crown Club members. And I'm going to have a whole bunch of new perks coming up in the new year's for you supporters, especially if you come to our live events. Maybe some, Patreon only events where you can come here live only with us and the players, and we chill, have some drinks, and play some StarCraft with the players that come down for the live event. All right, take it away, boys.
Alrighty. So we are here on the port of Alexander, and
Port
down
Noob.
here, down here on the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have our orange Protoss player. It is Root Gaming's puCK.
And in the top left-hand corners, it is our red Zerg player, probably a bit traumatized from the last series. Give it up for Psystorm Gaming's Silky.
Yay. And getting fairly normal builds here to start by both players. Decent stuff going on. I think it's one of those ones with a relatively safe natural. You've then got a choice on which third you're going to end up taking. And that can definitely influence the game a lot. But everything kind of goes up these double ramps into the natural, and then a reasonably narrow choke compared to some of the other maps these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it opens up. It seems to be one of the more standard-ish maps.
Yeah.
Just with the base layout and the distance from one side to the other. And yeah, just about everything, that you kind of want in a map that isn't going to throw too many curveballs at you. So puCK is a player, I think, who does have some meme builds up his sleeve. I haven't really seen Silky do too much like that, except in ZVZ, but I believe that puCK, tends to use a lot of his memes in the mid game, early / mid game.
Exactly. He is going to go for a Stargate this time first, and he's going to send a first Adept out across the map to get a sense of what's going on, making a second one at home. So yeah, the Stargate opener still reasonably popular in this matchup. You're not forced into it like you were several months back. It's not a requirement that you open up this way, but definitely an option.
Yeah. And it's something that he prefers too. I see puCK do this almost every single game. And whether he goes into something else, with the kind of standard Twilight Robo or multiple Stargates remains to be seen. But I feel like puCK is a player who just likes that. And he's the type of player also who will hammer down a playstyle and just perfect it and pretty much, make little changes to it. But for the most part, he, relatively similar across a lot of the games in the series.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. And it's him perfecting something that other people usually don't see, I think is the key to it. It's not,
it won't be just straight up meta a lot of the times.
Yeah, exactly. He is getting the Robo behind this as well, as the first Oracle is on its way out, and there is a second one coming. And that will swing towards the third base here.
And even like that, think about it, right? The regular Stargate opener, we've been seeing a lot of players go for the Phoenix first. And even if they go for the Oracle first, then they're going to follow it up with the Phoenix. So puCK doing his own thing, going for the Larva instead of the drones. He wants to limit the production here, but I don't think he's going to get the egg. He might, though.
Just missing it. That one will pop out as the queens come down.
Yeah. And even Observer first coming out of the Robo. That's kind of different as well.
Yeah, I think he's got a sense of what's going on. He knew like the really exact timing on that third base, so I think he knows what to expect and when. 2 spores are coming out to protect, and we get a shot of the port there.
Yep. This is going to be good though for puCK because he is making a third Oracle, and what we're seeing out of Silky is going to be a +1 melee style before even going for the lair. So if the +1 lings are going to attempt to go and cancel the third base, as long as puCK keeps that Oracle over there and then has the Adepts in between the Pylon and the Nexus, he should be able to kill them before they kill the actual Nexus.
The Oracle's there between the 2 bases, getting some kills, damage done. He is going up to the Robotics Bay behind this.
Yeah, very interesting move here.
Adepts and a Zealot trying to hold this third base location as the Oracle comes in and will help clean up the lings here as well.
Yeah, Silky went in right before +1 was done, by the way, so
yeah.
I don't know how much of a difference it would have made, but it's kind of like you have this +1, and if he hadn't attacked, then the other Oracle might have went across the map. So
yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, definitely would have been a different situation with a +1. He definitely could have cleaned up the Adepts and Zealot there. And we're getting the Colossus range.
Ooh.
So it could be what you were talking about, that there's going to be Colossus drops in this.
Oh god, imagine that. puCK just bringing it back to his old ways. Still going for so many Oracles. Like, well, I guess he's stopped by now, but like going for 4 Oracles is
it's a big commitment.
Pretty insane, yeah.
To this. It's going to go right after a Queen here. We'll back away from the Spore.
Yep.
Still looking for any sort of weak spots here. We've also seen him follow up a lot of the early Oracle harass, with really well-positioned stasises in this tournament. So him putting down the stasis wards throughout the map has definitely caught a lot of Terran off guard. We'll see if he can pull it off versus a Zerg as well. He's going to swing down towards this 4th. If he so decides, you can just straight up cancel that with the Oracles, but he is going to pull them back.
Yeah, just going to pull them back, and I think he's going to do what you were saying, begin to put those stasis wards around the map.
Yeah.
Silky's going to be going for Hydra Bane, as he is already working on +2 melee. And this is only 1 Robo Colossus, but honestly, Colossus does pretty good against the Hydra Bane style. So perhaps, unless he falls to, let's say, Overlord drops, because we do see... Oh no, that's not Overlord speed, that's Baneling speed.
Yeah.
So there were... Oh no, there is Overlord right as soon as I said
it's also in there, yeah.
yeah.
There.
All right, cool. So we should be seeing Bane drops, and with no Phoenixes in the sky, it is going to be tougher for puCK to deal with it. But it's all about seeing it. He has observers, at least 1 in the middle of the map, and I think he pulled the one that was in the net, so that's that one. Yeah, cool. So we'll see where we go from here.
Yeah, it's looking relatively good for... I mean, both players got to feel like they're being able to execute their plan right now. The Oracle's got some damage done, but to be honest, not yet 4 Oracles worth of damage by any means. So this has been a big investment. Unless they come in with some good stasises and awareness later on, I don't think they've paid for themselves yet. But he's now going out and clearing up some of this creep, because this is pretty good creep spread overall so far by Silky.
Oh, it is, right? Look at it, going not only on the south, but on the north too.
Yeah.
And yeah, puCK's only way of dealing with that is just to kind of poke out, kill it at the edge of it, and then back on off, because he does not want to get surrounded.
Yeah.
So what
we are getting
Spire.
stasis wards. Yeah, Spire's out, and Infestation Pit is done, and he's going right up to the Hive here as well. So Silky's got to be looking at this and saying, like, my economy is great at the moment. Like, he's got 75 drones. He's got to feel pretty good with where he is in this game so far.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't think nothing about this. Like, he can see that army. That's an army that's harassing creep, but that's not an army that's pulling in and going and killing a base by any means.
Exactly, and if he gets that Warp Prism, that would be really nice. But here we go, Hydra Bane versus this Stalker Colossus with sentries, and we even have Banelings into Overlords that might be able to drop on top of all of these.
Yeah, nice force fields, but yeah, there's not. They're going to have to back up, as there are enough Stalkers there right now. But sentries, yeah, do all go down, and that's a huge investment. That was really controlling the crowd.
Man, I think the sentries are what keep you safe against that Hydra Bane. You need the Colossus, of course, sit behind the force fields, but now that you don't have any, you just got to keep poking and hope that the DPS is going to be good. Here we go. Storm isn't done yet, and here comes some of those High Templar in the back.
Yeah,
so close to being...
Yeah, 10 seconds left here, but he's going to push into this to try and clear up a little more creep. Storm is now completing. There is a drop full of overload. Oh, nice pick up on that. There is a drop coming in on the top third base with Banelings in it, I believe. We'll see if he picks that up. There are stalkers on the way. That's excellent.
Gonna be able to kill that Overlord. Nope, not gonna kill it. Yeah, but we're going into the latest here.
Repelled.
Yeah, just warded away. Get out of here. But it is Broodlords is what's gonna be the next step here for Silky.
Yeah. He's got a reasonable, I mean, Blink Stalker Colossus, not too bad against that. There's you know, a number of corruptors out that could try and come in and limit this Colossus account. But he's gonna feel okay about this. Nice run by here at the third. Is this gonna get a lot done? The stasis clutch here, getting like 80% of those links.
Yeah, that basically shuts it down completely. While puCK is gonna be in the middle of the map. 3 Colossus and also 3 High Templars. So his AoE against Hydra Bane is gonna be great. It's just gonna be a matter of how he's gonna deal with the Broodlords. It's not an overwhelming amount of Blink Stalkers here, so where are the rest of them? I guess they're maybe on defensive duty, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are in the bases looking for those Baneling drops, looking for these run-bys. puCK's got to feel okay. He's going up to 5 bases, coming in with some Archons here now. Is going to help a lot. He didn't really have a lot to deal with, like a lot of Lings, other than, or a lot of Banelings, sorry. The Colossus obviously pretty good against the Lings.
Oh boy. Well, here we go. Those are done.
We'll see the Broods is able to pick one off here. Storm there, zoning out the rest of the forces. If he could do those little jumps in, getting a Broodlord or 2 and then kind of storm himself back to safety, that's going to be great. But this isn't an overwhelming number of Stalkers, and a lot of them are going to be vulnerable to this.
Yeah,
Storming
look at that.
actually a lot of his own shit.
He did. Gonna lose the Archon there as well, and there's no anti-air except for a few Stalkers that are under the legs of the Colossi. And the Broodlord count is it's not that scary, but it is up to 6. There's just not a lot of support for them.
It's getting there. Yeah, exactly. It's the Queen's under to help keep them alive too. 3 now left, but there's some Hydras under this. Like, there's just a lot of DPS under this that are completely railing through a bunch of Stalkers.
Yeah, they were able to take them out. And there was a run-by attempt by the 4th base of puCK, but it did get stasis warded.
Looks like it's locked in.
Locked it down.
Yeah, now these Stalkers are going to get right under things. There are no more Hydras there with this. He's got 2 morphing in right under it. He's got to deal with these Corruptors first.
And I think
it looks like puCK has broken it. Yeah,
he has.
And that is GG.
puCK gonna go up 1-0 in this best of 3 elimination series, by the way. So if if either of the players can pull this win out, then they will survive in the tournament. But whoever does end up falling will be out of it. This is the last life for both of the players.
For
puCK
sure.
was well aware of that when he picked Silky.
Yeah, definitely was. He had the target. He could basically either Silky or Future. He knew that he'd get to knock them out. Silky, as we discussed before, is a much better strategic pick, as it then forces Future to pick afterwards.
Exactly.
But yeah, good performance there. It was kind of neat after the. We saw a lot of the sentries go down, which is really what you need to be able to zone out the Banelings. But then after all the sentries died, the Banelings didn't really come back.
They didn't, yeah. They all got Overlords after that, much.
Exactly. So if you had mixed some of that in, then that may have helped prevent this blink forward sort of thing. It's not always super efficient to go like Baneling against the Stalker, but it kind of is. It's not like they're zealots or something, but it still works. Like if you just wipe them off and there's nothing to be anti-air, then that can be good. But we didn't really get those back. So interesting decision there.
Yeah, +2 melee is pretty legit, and puCK wasn't going for armor upgrades either, so it just gives you some kind of room so that when the stalkers blink in, they tend to blink together. So the banelings are going to be
exactly
at their most effectiveness, right? So
yeah, because you're looking to jump forward to snipe that one broodlord. So yeah, you're instinctively clumped. Like the whole point is not to separate them. And yeah, but we didn't get that back. Instead, he just kept going for baneling drops and these run-bys. But because of the stasis that we talked about earlier in the game, the run-bys and the drops did nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Like they did nothing at all.
Nothing. No like not a probe kill, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
So we are jumping into game number 2, and every time we jump into the game, I feel instant regret as I still haven't switched the observer to the right mode.
Oh my god!
But I will after this game. Remind me.
I'll try.
Are you able to do it now?
No.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm gonna do it right now. I forget that you can. It doesn't change. Yeah, okay.
That's so funny. Oh, well, as you do that, I'll introduce our first player. In the top left-hand corner, his last life, it is Storm Gaming's Silky. His literal last life.
It is. And yeah, down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have representing Root Gaming. He's on his last life, but he is up 1-0 in this series. It is puCK.
All right.
Going for the gateway first here on the low ground.
Yeah, super standard already. Not going to try to end quickly with something really ridiculous.
Yep, and it will be a hatch gas pool on a Silky side of things. So again, fairly normal, not super aggressive stuff going on. He'll get the Nexus behind us.
Yeah, and still Silky with going for the hatch gas pool. You might think like opens him up for some kind of cannon rush or something, but keeping that Overlord by the natural will allow him to see any probes that would be coming. And then, of course, putting the pool over there on the other south side means that the probe isn't going to sneak in by any means either. So,
yeah,
I think playing it pretty safe, except for this little greedy play, going for that third base before the Overlord.
Yep, before the 2-minute mark is going for that. But I think he is correctly reading that puCK is not particularly early game cheesy. He's that, like you said in the previous game, he's that mid-game weird variant type.
He loves the
micro
units pretty much. Like
exactly.
Yeah, blink stalkers, something with a warp prism, anything that he can. He loves to integrate into his play pretty much all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to get a Stargate again here. Do you think we're going to get the same Oracle style, or will it be a Phoenix this time?
I wonder. It's hard to say. I don't know if he would do the same exact style. It did seem, though, like even though the Oracles didn't do much, they
did
still
so much defensively. Yeah. Like
so.
You're right. They got like a handful of drone kills. I'm not sure. I think they killed a queen, but that's it. No, definitely not 4 oracles worth of damage. But then defensively, I would say that they saved like 10 to 12 probes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Even though there were shield batteries and cannons, it's just the fact that stasis ward forces the Zerg player to go and force, or at least use their attention on something else, and have it in the back of the mind that, okay, that's going to end sometime soon. But it also gives you time to prepare. So I like it, And already, Stalker.
Yeah, we are getting the Oracle, Ling speed about down. The Adept dove in there for a kill.
Right into the Robo again. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, it looks like.
Yeah, very similar build. He may have just thought, and it kind of did look like the case there, that every now and then you're going to find something against your opponent where you're just like, you know what? He not only didn't have an answer for this, but I don't think he's going to be able to think of one.
Exactly.
And
that's the thing.
If you sometimes you just see kind of a blind spot, but he He killed that other. Ling's getting in here now. We'll get a goat off. That's pretty big. He's not going to get like damage, but seeing what's going on is helpful, because he strategically killed off the Overlord before starting the second Oracle. He made it look like it was just kind of a normal single thing, but now of course the Ling is seeing what's going on.
Yeah, able to see that Oracle building, and then he puts the Robo at the front. No reason to really hide that at all. And the other Oracle on the other side of the map doesn't really get much done again, so...
Yeah, immediately repelled. There's Spore Crawlers up already this time. Going up to a lair there.
Yeah, with
and we're
the
getting
lair.
a third Oracle.
Oh, wow. So he is going to do the same thing. At least for now. We'll see if he puts down the Robo Bay, which he did after the third Oracle. I think he did start it off with the Observer last time as well. So...
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
Here it goes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Ender Sword.
Yeah, indeed. It's another map where I think you can get, like, he went up to like 5 bases behind all this stuff, and I think he thinks he can do it again. The third base he's gone for here is like the most aggressive one, going for that up front base. The Queen will fall as Spore drives the Oracles back.
Yeah.
And he's going to see a Roach Warren this time.
So it is going to be a little different here. And I believe, with the range coming, we're going to see a bit more of a standard style out of Silky, maybe even going into Lurkers, which I think will fare a lot better than... So that is a nice here.
I agree. A little less squishy, obviously. Lurkers, when they get into a good position, it's almost impossible to remove them cost efficiently.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a cost-efficient Lurker fight. We'll dive on a Queen there again and get out safely, picking up a couple drones. Our Oracles, one of them quite low.
Yep,
and he's probably going to go. Yeah, does live. And I think he's got, same thing, 4 of them that are out. And he's going up to, is that a 4th Oracle? I can't see it on the map.
It is.
Yeah, so he's
going up to a 5th Oracle, actually, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what his questioning is. There even more here? And it is indeed. So he's going to continue with it as he moves into the Colossus production. The thing that always scares me playing these style catches the Queens as they transition off creep here. The thing that always super scares me about this is what I was hoping he was going to do last game, but Hydras may save this, and will
they get revealed though.
You feel as a Protoss, you've spent so much on tech at this point. In Oracle's, Colossus, whatever, that he's got like 3 gateway units. Or 4.
Yeah, you're right.
Like that always is super scary to do as a Protoss player. Like the sentries are what you're going to live and die on, and they're so squishy. You've got all these great units, but there's nothing to support them if you just get dove on. But,
if you were to, right? Like if Silky went for some crazy Roach attack, didn't join up to 69 and decided to hit a mid-game Roach push, puCK might have been in a little trouble, but the Oracles would have been able to eventually clean it up. It's just more so about how much they would have been able to do before they did.
And you'd know it. Like the one good thing about the active Oracles as well is when that starts to happen.
Right.
So he's really aware that this is the case. And he's now trying to dive on his 4. Does lose 1 Oracle. Does get it, but there's a second one there anyway. So I'm not sure that was really worth the dive.
No.
There is a pretty big drop coming in here to the main base. I don't think anything's going to spot that. Not at the moment, anyway.
The Lambo special.
They do live. I thought I saw on the mini map that happening. If those were all Hydras, they'd all be dead. But there were roaches in that. He will come in with the drop here now. They will unload on the top side of this base.
Ooh, puCK's vision. He sees it now, but he's focusing more on his army at the top of the map.
Check out that Artosis pylon.
Oh no. Oh, yo, dude, that's extended thermal lance though as well. So this push is not going to be able to get.
It's going to be hard to reinforce to this position too. He does have to just recall back, and he just loses the Robo Bay in general.
Yeah, really sick move there from Silky, but he did end up losing his 4th base. So that is going to go down while puCK is going to establish his own 4th.
He's going to try and counterpunch it to here, but the cannons, the stasis, the everything about this is great. Will pick off one of the dropper lords, but he's not really going to be able to stand and fight with just the Stalkers are just so bad. Like but he did get micro, like keeping the damage runs back. He could have lost a lot more if he just kind of moved into that.
Well, it is indeed with the Lurkers coming. I like the 4th or the 3rd base that puCK decided to take with this, right?
Yeah.
So
it's so aggressive.
It is, and he's just so far forward as well. So he's going to be able to move freely between his bases a lot easier than if he took the other one. But there are more attack paths, right? So he has to be very, very careful.
Yeah, It means you got to keep, and they're the lurkers now. Like if the lurkers get really in a good position in the main, then this is going to be hard. Or if they draw the army back to the main and they get positioned between the natural and the third, that's really hard to dislodge.
Oh, they're going to actually bypass the stalkers. puCK doesn't see this one lurker coming through, but at least there is a cannon inside of the main. So,
yeah,
there we go.
Detection is there. The stalkers will move. And he's not going to be able to plant that. He will get it down. No, in range still. Yeah. In range.
But like you were saying, he gets it between the natural.
Yeah, this is what he wanted to do. This is where you want to be. It's going to be so cost inefficient to move this.
Oh, how does puCK actually deal with this? He's only on one robo, and he was using it mainly for Colossi. I guess he does have 2 immortals, but yeah, he knows that he can't save it. So
this is just wrecked. This is the absolute nightmare scenario for a Protoss player. Once those lurkers get into place in a vulnerable spot, you cannot dislodge them. And it's just going to go into full base race mode. The stalkers trying to kite back into the main to do something to slow this down. puCK is moving into the 4th base and going directly into the natural to try and cut off all future production, but I don't think he has enough here.
Yeah, and all of the drones of Silky tried to get away, but the oracles on the right side by that other base that Silky's trying to take are going to be taking them out. But puCK is losing many of his probes also at the same time. And he still does have a recall, I think, right? puCK should have a recall, but does he really? The recall
he should, but yeah, literally all 3 bases are under attack at the moment. He has made a 4th base off on the left-hand side, which is just his stay alive recall to place. But can he even fight anything? Like, if the 2 armies clash, puCK's army will lose.
Completely, yeah. There just really is not enough here at all. The DPS isn't there, and then any kind of counterplay like Tempest isn't there either. So puCK is kind of just trying to get
Storm is going to be picked off before it finishes. There's 2 Archons here. They can't go near these lurkers. Robo obviously is gone as well, so we're down to a limited number of lurkers. This Nidus Worm, good play here to make sure that he's got mobility.
Yeah, and they're a lot cheaper nowadays as well. Silky knows exactly the army comp of puCK, and he's just waiting to see if there's anything else that is that awaits him. So
exactly, but
on the main. Oh, look at that though!
Look at this supply.
Look at this supply.
It is tripled for Silky here. He's got 2 lurkers in the main that just literally outright prevent anything from coming in. 3 of them now.
Oh man.
Yeah, lurkers was absolutely the right answer to this whole thing by Silky. It's just not able to deal with this sort of thing. So we kind of mentioned in this that, you know, sometimes you throw some at someone and say, I think I could do the same thing again, and they won't have a solution. What Silky has done here was the solution.
Exactly.
This was just such a good, not only a good adjustment to it, but like a pretty damn surprising adjustment. I don't think that puCK knew how many lurkers were out on the map. He didn't know what was going to happen to him during this game.
Absolutely not.
I think he's just kind of coming to terms with the fact that he lost this one. He's kind of turtling to that weird 4th, but like, what are you going to do? Yeah,
the Warp Prism's about to fly into the main, and it got taken out.
Yeah, a single Roach going after that 4th here now.
Might just see a Nidus Worm actually over by the base of puCK with this Roach being able to start it, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think puCK has an idea of exactly how fine Silky is. Like, it's not the situation you want, but he's on 4 bases.
He's perfect.
Like,
yeah,
he's got 150 supply. He's not hurting. Like, he's fine.
No,
he doesn't. He's weirdly not get a good economy, but that's because there's so much in army that he's totally fine. And now that this is reestablished at the natural, he's no longer long distance mining. These buildings are not going to deteriorate to death. And so this is over. It's just puCK is not completely aware of the situation at the moment.
No. Oh, was he held position on it or held fire? But it looked like there was an observer there anyway. But then puCK looks at that and says, "Okay, even if you can see them, can you really deal with this?"
Yeah, what do you do with this?
Nope.
Like, you want to. Now, David Kim, come back to Blizzard and nerf the range on the lurker slightly, because it feels like the Colossus should be able to stay on the edge and pick them off one by one.
Yeah.
But you literally can't. Like, you could play this with perfect micro, and there's no way that the Colossus ever breaks this position.
You would need disruptors here.
Yeah, you can't do anything beyond that.
Oh, puCK just gonna try here, but he is pretty dead. Probably
he's
thinking about what he's
absolutely
gonna
dead.
do in the next game, right? Like, there's just no chance in hell. Not with 60 drones from Silky and the bases that he's gonna be getting.
Stasis ward's still coming down.
Oh,
That's gonna pull
puCK
it back.
is the energy.
Kind of like this. The only things that shoot up at this point are the sentries.
Yeah.
And they're not going to help you.
Not even. Yeah, you're
puCK is
right.
trying to take another base down at the bottom left, just because. And I don't know. It's not like this is his last. This is the type of behavior when you have it's your last game. But exactly. It's not. You're 1-0. You can lose this one and go on to the next map. But he's doing something here. Sometimes there's those situations where you have like a few units left and you just want to see like, okay, how do I micro this? How does my opponent respond? How do I do? Like, you're almost playing this game in theory.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
If I'm ever in this situation again, but it's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah, then what? How do I do this? How do I go up a ramp with lurkers? How do I, like, that feels like that's what we're doing at the moment, but yeah. And Silky's not being aggressive either.
No, he's like this is the right thing to do. But you know, at any point in time, he could actually move and then just if he
could just say move. He could bum rush those to the other base, camp on it, and they wouldn't die in time.
Yeah,
like this is not enough DPS on puCK's side. The two Immortals are the only thing that I would be worried about at all. But
oh, the Corruptors come through.
That's it.
Smart move. Like, he played it the smartest you could. And people in chat might be like, come on, end it already.
He did it. He did it safe. He did it absolutely safe. And I think neither of them were completely aware of each other's situation. I don't think puCK knew how totally fine Silky was. And I don't think Silky knew how totally not fine at all puCK was.
Yeah.
Like, he might have thought that there was something else better out there. Or, I don't know. But he did it in a super safe way, and you can't fault him for that, especially on his last life.
Exactly.
You don't want to throw
on their last lives, by the way. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. And now on the last map of their last life,
Kairos Junction.
Yeah. Pretty balanced one, I think. I don't think there's a big problem with this one either.
Yeah. There's only one thing I think. It's like the third base. If you spawn on the bottom right, and then the third base, it's a very, very narrow choke there that can lend itself to some pretty successful sentry-based aggression in the early game. But once you spread your creep past it, I think it's less of an issue.
And again, we've talked about that puCK is not really that guy,
right?
To do the super early stuff. So I think you can feel reasonably okay with this sort of thing. Now, is puCK going to vary up his build? I don't imagine he's going to do the same thing of like a bunch of oracles.
No.
You know, if he opens now, he could certainly fake that direction. He could get one, and then knowing now that it's going to force out. Like, Silky really reacted strong with spore crawlers in the first game in particular. He had like 2 at each base. So if you know that I can make one and it might make my opponent panic to make like 7 drones worth of spore crawlers, then that may be worth. But I don't think he's going to do the same. I don't think he's going to do really the same opening. I don't know, but I also wouldn't mind him seeing, like we talked about before the series started, that puCK's drop play is really, really good. His Warp Prism micro is amazing, and usually a go-to in this series is the Archon drops. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, it's a go-to. It's a strength of puCK's. He's really good at getting damage done with that sort of thing. I wouldn't mind him seeing him do that.
Yeah, me neither. Or anything with the Warp Prism like that. That is his unit right there.
Yeah, it's his bread and butter.
But the one thing against Silky, I don't think that you want to play just a straight up standard game against him either.
Sure.
Like, you do want to mess with his mind and throw some kind of a curveball at him, because I think Silky's strength lies in when everything is going perfectly normal and things that I'm used to defending, I'm really good at that. And then once I get into the late game, I'm in my comfort zone. If I get there comfortably, everything is great. Didn't work out in game 1, but remember, it was kind of like that weird opener from puCK where it's like, okay, well, this isn't standard, but I'm going to try to do whatever is the best scenario.
I think also in game 1, Silky really tried to force it to the Broodlords quicker than he should have. I think if he took another minute to get there, he tried to, like, he really tried to go into like 6 Broodlords as quick as possible. Again, we mentioned that he cut out the Banelings in the mid section, and had he done it a little less aggressive, got a little more under them, I think he would have been a lot stronger, and I think he had the time to do it.
He did. puCK wasn't being he wasn't being too aggressive on his economy, and also it wasn't the Charge Lot Archon Immortal style either. Like, you don't need to rush mode against the Stalker style, because at that point it's like, okay, unless you can get it before like +3 happens and there's not that many Stalkers. But puCK, is a lot more equipped to deal with early Broodlords. Like 6, that's not that scary. Yeah, if it's like 12 Broodlords, and of course the Blink Stalkers aren't really as good anymore, but rushing out 6 Broodlords +2, getting +3 Stalkers, not going to be as effective as like the Immortal Charge Lot Archon, where you're like just completely screwed.
You can also play that mid section too, where like you obviously got to get Corruptors to get the Broodlords out, and there's 4 Colossus on the field. Yeah. So why don't you play with those Corruptors for a little bit?
Indeed.
And do something, whether it's on the army, or you can even try and run them by and go piss on a base.
Yeah,
and see if
you got
you
a Nexus every once in a while.
Play with them.
Yeah. It's coming out to play.
It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone either that you're going up to Broodlord in that situation. So it's not like revealing them really like tells them what's up or anything kind of crazy. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, here we are in our final game of this series. One of these players will be eliminated. Hopefully, for his sake, it will not be in the top left-hand corner, representing Sidestorm Gaming.
They flipped that.
Can't get me. He's trying to keep me on my toes. I see you, Terra.
It's them Ukrainian treks, man. And his opponent, down here on the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have our blue Protoss representing Root Gaming for like the 8th time. It is puCK. And Gateway Gas on the low ground. Again, taking it safe, like doing the safe thing, not trying to go for like Nexus first.
Nothing, no greed.
Yeah, no super greeds.
Suupa greed.
Suupa, indeed. I wish you could go grab these minerals in the middle of the damn map. Like they're sitting there.
Imagine.
Like, what's up? They're on wheels and everything. Like they're in a nice little cart and shit.
Literally push them with the drone.
Yeah, come on.
Put the drone in there. Have like
there's Vespine right next to it. There's everything.
Oh man, so convenient. And yet, like, you can't even. Map designers really need to step their game.
I know, right? Where's Dustin Browder when you need it? It actually would be a neat thing if there were like resources somewhere like that. That's a thing that never really materialized. Is what if there were like a destructible rock that contained minerals or something in it?
That was Fruitland, the only map I think that did that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that's like, and it was only on
GFN. Yeah, it was a neat little twist that there was just a little something extra that you could go get that you could actually contest over early in the game. Although the fact that I feel that would always benefit Zerg or something the most, then it would be a nice little twist.
Yeah, I would dig it. I would not be opposed to that, Mr. Endersword. Not even a little.
Of course. We get the third base being taken like relatively early by Silky here as well. Probe scouting up front to see if anything aggressive is coming. And we do have a Stargate again, but will it be an Oracle yet again?
That's the thing, yeah. And how many Oracles will it be if it is?
Yeah. I kind of hope it will be an Oracle, but one. Maybe an Oracle, then a Phoenix.
Yeah. Change it up.
See if you can get the reaction out of them, but with, whatever.
I remember last game, the run by did happen too, so even though it didn't really do too much there, it just still was one of those things where he didn't have to play in the dark. He knew exactly what was coming from that Stargate next. And look at that.
You're right.
Phoenix coming out. So.
It will be a Phoenix first.
Cool. I like it. Later the series, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, good adjustment there by puCK, I think. We'll see how it does work. The Overlord will come in and see it again. He'll know pretty quickly, obviously, what it is, as it will pop out and start shooting at him.
All right. And the Overlord's still going to be able to see the Robo. So pretty much gets a full scout. And the gas timing isn't like too early either. So puCK is the rest of the tech super duper fast.
Yeah, both players, I think, reasonably aware of what each other's doing at the moment. They've got good scouting information. The Phoenix going out on the map. Now, because of this, and this kind of came into the meta like a year ago almost, when Phoenix openers were so big, but the Zerg basically doesn't even send their other Overlords out anymore. No. They just turtle them on their own side of the map, and that's become such a meta thing that it really does limit your ability to scout some of the other bases. But it's Lings going out and doing that part at the moment instead, trying to see when a third might come down.
They're going at each one of the bases. Not only does it see the third base, but it also would be able to see a Warp Prism leaving and when it does. But already now, puCK taking a 4-minute and 30 third base after killing that Ling that was there.
Yes, and we're going to get a Roach Warren and Lair coming on Silky's side of things. And there is an Oracle, but I think this one will, again, be very... Actually, two of them. Like, it's kind of actually funny that he's done it this way. He still wants them out for the stasis, but they're not really going to poke as much. Like, these are ones that you're really making not anticipating any drone kills.
Right.
You're making them maybe to poke at a queen if you can catch them out, but these are largely for stasises. This is actually a good use of it.
Oh, Silky droning up so hard right now. He has 62 drones right now after losing 2, and there was no Spore Crawler at that natural base, so now puCK is going to get massive amounts of damage here. Completely blindsiding.
Exactly. I don't think puCK even would have expected it to do that much, as I was saying. He just kind of poked in to see what's available, but like you said, no spores to protect, able to neutralize one of the queens, and all of a sudden that's 10 drones dead.
Just like that. You know?
Gotta be happy about that.
Definitely. And we saw the RoboBay coming down from puCK as well, so he is going to be going maybe into Colossus once again. He's bringing Colossus back. He really is.
Yes. I mean, they're a good unit. They, the range, like that turret tracking thing that they've done to them is reasonably good. It does help you micro them a little better. It makes them more impactful, at least when you are microing them. Still trying to dive for another queen here. And there are spores out, but it's, again, not the same type of overreaction or reaction, I guess, that we saw, not really over, that we saw in the first game. There are 2 in the main. But he almost did the opposite of what we were kind of saying, of like, get an Oracle so that the person thinks that maybe you're getting 4. Instead, he got a Phoenix so that the person thinks you're getting none.
Right.
And then he ended up getting a lot done with that. Yeah.
So, really well done from puCK. Sets himself up in a really nice way, but Silky's going to be rushing up to those lurkers once again. So, puCK did not deal with them last time the way that he probably wanted to. And I don't even know if he was able to scout them that early, right? So, this time around, he does see it if he was paying attention to the building. So, what does he try to do in order to combat the lurkers this time? It doesn't look like he's making any changes besides... Yeah, there's really nothing here differently from last game.
Yeah. I think you need a lot more of the Immortal, too, to survive this, and he doesn't have it. You need kind of Immortal Storm to deal. But it's almost so early. Is he going to get like enough lurkers quick enough to really get in where he wants to get in? Like, it looks very different, the whole game.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty worried for puCK here.
Yeah, me too.
It might be a little bit harder, though, because these walls are really nice here for puCK. And this time, since he opted to go for the north third, it's going to be a little different as far as the defense goes.
Yeah, on Port Alexander, it was that third base that was like sticking your neck right out. That ultimately was his demise there. It was a really good play for what he was trying to do, but it was such a good response to get the lurkers in. They are going to come into the third base here. They're taking a not super aggressive position yet, though. He will come in. There's a bunch of cannons. There's a bunch of Oracle. Will he get
he forced all of those units to go into the main, and there was nothing inside of the Overlord, so...
Yeah. This is so heavy. This is going to take him out.
I think so. All right, there's no stasis wards here either, and Silky in a lot of trouble because he doesn't have any real way to deal with these lurkers.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do. You need Storm, you need Disruptor, you need Immortal, and he doesn't have any of those three things. He's got like one Immortal.
And he's still chasing those Overlords that have nothing in them, so that's like a big majority of his army there.
Going back into the same sort of thing he did in the other game, just kind of base racing across the map here. The difference is puCK doesn't have, oh, nice catch here, as he catches a bunch of these lurkers very caught out, cancels another group of them.
Yeah, that was
definitely a different situation. There's not an army absolutely entrenched in your stuff killing you.
No.
So he will be able to get some counter damage done here, but he's expanding on the lower side.
Yeah, taking another base here is puCK. The flat block didn't warp in anything else, but the Colossi being very patient at the moment. And you know what, though? He's dealing with this pretty well, the best that he could.
He is, and to harken back to that game where puCK took so long to leave, could you argue that he was practicing for this? Like,
maybe so.
You know, this is literally the situation. Here's a Colossus up a ramp. I've got some Oracles. I've got some units. How do I strategically get in and get the damage I want? And that's essentially what he's trying to do here. And he's going to make the lurkers kind of go around and chase him down.
Oh, but the lurkers are late. They're going to be coming from behind now, or at least from that other base. But I mean, now they don't have any real support. The Observer is still alive. The stick goes down to all of the Roaches and Hydras. puCK gonna blink on top of the lurkers. He takes out 1, 2, 3, 4. I think puCK might be able to do this. He has a lot in the bank and he can warp in. The only problem is that he does not have a warp prism in order to reinforce.
Yeah, it's going to be that long warp distance coming behind us, but he's in a good place here. Taking out the fourth base now. There is a fifth and a sixth down, or sorry, a fourth and a fifth down on the bottom side. And he is aware of it, and it's going to be incredibly hard for Silky to ever get into a position to defend this.
Wow, Silky kind of left his lurkers up by the other defensive, or at least the other ramp that he was at. And now puCK is going to be able to get 2 bases, 11 drones.
Counter with some Roaches here, but they do get spotted by the Stalkers and blinked back on. They're not going to get anything done here, not even a probe kill. And this Overlord that was just being BM basically to that Nexus does get taken out as well.
Well then, puCK, I think he just solidified himself in this game. Going to be pushing out, didn't really lose too much there. Silky's lurker count got reset, so he had to make a few more.
There is a run by at the third base or something going on here. Just a few lanes. Some Zealots will be warped in to deal with that, and the probes will come back in. But yeah, there's just no way to deal with this army at the moment. That was so much of an investment into the lurkers. They did their damage on the third, but now that has been recovered from, and there's nothing to actually take anything out here.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was going to be better for Silky than in last game even, right?
Yeah.
He got the third base
like
and got back home.
Yeah, it's the fact that he was attacking the third from the outside, whereas in the other game, the previous game, he was able to get between the third and the natural and just completely choke it. But here, puCK had the option of continuing the economy, and he just didn't in the prior game.
Oh my gosh, Silky gonna try to hold it here. He might have the lurkers,
still a lot of lurker.
Value just not there.
And he just doesn't have to go in here. Like, puCK without the clock on him doesn't have to take this fight.
Hey, he doesn't even have to go there. He can just go for the other base, and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about it, but he does see the creep.
He's now aware of, He saw some units trickling up from there.
Yeah, Silky doesn't even have the unit count to try to trap this army. If he tries to move and get in position, he's just going to lose absolutely everything. It's off of creep, and there are stasis wards there too. So
yeah, I love how active these Oracles have been throughout the entire game.
They have been, and they're all alive.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the Oracle value, is do you keep them alive the entire game?
Yeah.
And they did this time around too. We said in the first 2 games they didn't get a lot of kills. In this one, he went for the later oracles and they got 10 kills.
Yeah, 10 kills. That was a really good way to start the game.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. Here we go. The lurkers are in position. There's no detection on him just yet, but here come those observers. There should be enough for a revelation though, but he blinks in and the Colossus are gonna be walking.
Beautiful. Beautiful here. Even the lurker den is a bit exposed there now. He could just cut these off. Trying to get in position. They take so many hits doing it. He will have to back up.
GG. G to the G. puCK is gonna be able to seal the deal. And he survives in the best of 3.
Yeah, strong one here. Silky must have felt good at the start of the day coming in with 2 lives left, but he just lost them, both in consecutive
Cheers
shares.
that to someone losing a life.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, pour one out.
Like
Silky. Yeah.
That's like Erling. Absolutely. Pour one out for the fallen.
Yeah, there we go. So we had started with six folks. We're down to 3.
Here we
2
are.
of them with 1 life left only, and puCK's still looking good.
Wow, like you're right. Like thinking about Silky coming in with 2 lives, having them just decimated right away, just like ravaged.
Straight up.
Exactly.
And puCK's still in this with 1 life.
Yep.
So
Still a life left. Future with a life left. After one of those 2 goes out, then the lives, while they matter in the sense that there's a game advantage, but you're now into a best of 5.
Absolutely.
So
and
a different thing.
And then you still have Masa who has the opportunity to deflect and keep that life protected. And right now we're gonna have Future, who's the last pick, and it's the last life because Silky, who had a pick, is now gone. So we skip straight to Future.